There is a sound that surrounds us from the moment we wake until the moment we close our eyes. The sound of hurried footsteps, of conversations overlapping, of machines humming, of thoughts that never seem to stop. Most people live inside this storm of noise without ever questioning it. They move through their days as if silence were a forgotten language, one no longer spoken by the world. But deep inside, every soul longs for quiet. Not the kind of quiet that happens when the world turns off its lights, but the quiet that happens when the heart finally rests. This is the story of a young man who went searching for that silence. He lived in a city that never slept. At night, when the world should have been resting, the streets glowed with artificial light and echoed with endless voices. Even in his room, behind closed doors, he felt the weight of the city pressing against him, its noise, its hurry, its constant demand for more. The young man carried his restlessness like a burden on his back. No matter how much he tried to distract himself, there was always a heaviness in his chest, a storm in his mind. And one night, after hours of tossing and turning, he whispered to himself, "There must be something more. There must be a place where my soul can breathe." The very next morning he left. He did not pack much, only a few belongings. He did not know where the path would lead him. But he felt a pull, as if something beyond the horizon was calling his name. Days turned into weeks. He walked through fields where the grass swayed like an ocean of green, through forests where the trees stood like ancient guardians, until finally he reached the mountains. It was there, among the quiet peaks, that he met an old hermit sitting by a stream. The man was dressed simply, his hair white with age, his eyes calm like still water. There was something in his presence, a peace so deep that the young man felt it before a single word was spoken. "Master," he asked, his voice trembling, "how do I silence my thoughts? How do I find peace?" The hermit smiled, a smile that carried both kindness and truth. "You do not silence your thoughts by force," he said. "To fight the mind is to create more noise. Instead, sit with your thoughts. Watch them come and watch them go, like clouds drifting across the sky. Do not chase them, do not fear them. True peace is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of stillness within." At first, the young man did not understand. He sat by the stream, but his thoughts shouted louder than ever. Memories came rushing back, regrets replayed like broken songs. Worries about tomorrow screamed in his ears. But the hermit remained patient. "Do you hear the water?" he asked. "Yes," the young man replied. "Do you hear the wind through the trees?" "Yes." "Now listen deeper. Do you hear the silence beneath it all?" The young man closed his eyes. He tried to listen not just to the water or the wind, but to what lay beneath them. And slowly, something shifted. He noticed that behind every sound there was a vast space, a quiet presence. It was not empty, but full, not lonely, but alive. Days passed. The silence that once felt unbearable became a friend. It wrapped around him like a blanket, soft but unshakable. The storm inside began to calm. And one morning, as the sun rose over the mountains, he understood. The silence he had been searching for was not hidden in the peaks or buried in the stream. It was within him all along. When he returned to the city, nothing had changed. The streets were still crowded, the voices still loud, the nights still restless. But inside him, everything was different, because now, in the middle of all the noise, he carried a secret, a sanctuary of silence within his own heart. We live in a world that worships noise. We are told that the faster we move, the more we achieve. The louder we speak, the more we are heard. But silence teaches us a different lesson. Silence is not weakness. It is not emptiness. It is strength. It is depth. It is the place where wisdom is born. In silence, we see ourselves more clearly. In silence, the masks we wear fall away. In silence, we hear the voice that has been whispering to us all along, the voice of our own soul. The young man discovered what many of us forget. Peace does not come when the world grows quiet. Peace comes when we learn to carry silence inside us, no matter where we are. So the next time your mind feels restless, the next time the world feels too loud, pause, breathe, close your eyes, listen. Beneath the chaos, beneath the voices, beneath all the endless thoughts, there is a silence waiting for you. A silence that does not ask for anything, that does not judge, that does not run away. It is your anchor, your sanctuary, your home. And once you find it, you will realize, no matter where you are, no matter how loud the world becomes, you are never without peace, because the silence within you is always there, waiting to be heard.